America's malls are in trouble.
Consumers are just not shopping at malls as much as they used to.
In the United States, several major department store chains have gone bust.
The legendary names of American retailing file for bankruptcy.
As time goes by, the U.S. retail industry's predicament is getting worse and worse. E-commerce has changed the game for retailers who are struggling to adapt to a new market that is faster, more flexible, and has more choices for shoppers. The middle class, who comprise much of the buying market, has lost 35% of their purchasing power since 2000. The financial crisis and stock market volatility have led to mass layoffs, store closures, and bankruptcy for many retailers. In 2017, over 9,000 stores closed and visitors at shopping malls declined. Shopping malls now face the threat of extinction as a result of the retail crisis that has been developing for nearly 2 decades. Problems left and right have been plaguing the U.S. retail industry for quite some time, and its future doesn't seem bright at all. As the industry does its best to weather through this economic storm, here are 15 facts about the U.S. retail apocalypse that will blow your mind. Number 15. Vast, empty retail spaces. Thanks to 5 years of seemingly unending retail store closings, the U.S. is facing a glut of empty retail space, with over 1.2 billion square feet sitting vacant in cities and malls. According to Bloomberg, the number of empty stores at shopping centers has skyrocketed 5-fold since 2017. Number 14. Retail real estate is in jeopardy going forward. Additionally, Bloomberg's analysts predict that 1 billion square feet, or 10% of all retail space in the U.S., will need to be shut down, transformed, or renegotiated by 2024. This is due to the maturing of retailers' real estate debt, which is projected to reach as high as around $5 trillion in the coming years. That's a pretty overwhelming number, and from the look of it, it would be easier for companies to let go of the retail spaces or come up with a compromise than pay this amount so they can continue operating. Number 13. Mall visits are declining. Foot traffic data provider Placer AI reports that fewer and fewer people are visiting shopping malls all over the country nowadays. According to the data, mall visits have gone down by 63% within 3 years. That percentage continues to slowly increase to this day as more people find alternative options to visiting malls. Number 12. Closure of shopping malls. Retail consultant Howard Davidowitz predicts that half of America's 1,200 shopping malls could shut down over the next 15 years as brands move online to keep up with the increasing popularity of e-commerce.
Across the country, 9% of stores in U.S. malls are empty. Macy's and Forever 21 are also having to close. Why? Online shopping.
Now, that's much later on, according to Davidowitz, but predictions regarding the rate of shopping mall closings for the short term don't look good either. Credit Suisse forecasts that in the near future, 20% of U.S. shopping malls will close by mid-2024 due to a continued decline in foot traffic and changes in consumer behavior.
Hundreds of malls have closed over the last several years because people's shopping habits have changed.
Number 11. Huge numbers of retail stores closing down. Here's a quick look at the depressing numbers regarding retail store closings. Fung Global Retail and Technology found that in the past year and a half, there have been 5,300 retail store closures, which is 3 times more than in 2019. Over 300 businesses have filed for bankruptcy since 2020, a 31% increase compared to the start of the retail apocalypse in 2017. According to U.S. bankruptcy courts, an average of 544 stores were closed per month across the nation in the past 30 months, with approximately 169 of them being retail stores. Number 10. More stores are expected to close down. Another Credit Suisse prediction regarding the retail industry is that there will be over 8,600 permanent retail store shutdowns by mid-2024. However, UBS analysts have a more pessimistic outlook and estimate that up to 50,000 stores may close by 2026. And that's already the best-case scenario. They add that if the U.S. sees a severe recession in 2023, that number could rise to 80,000. Number 9. Low number of new retailers opening. Due to the retail apocalypse, new businesses are being discouraged from opening their own stores. Data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics indicates that the number of new retail store openings has declined by 40,000 in recent years, marking the worst performance since 2015. Number 8. Mass layoffs. Another Another thing the retail industry is facing is mass layoffs, with many retail employees losing their jobs. Over the last 12 months, department stores have laid off nearly 30,000 workers, and general merchandising stores have cut down around 16,000 positions. A general decline in consumer spending, surplus inventory, and declining profits have left companies with no choice but to trim their workforce. The sales of non-essential items have been falling for 10 months in a row, and the industry leaders have warned that this is just the beginning of job cuts. According to Challenger Gray and Christmas, the number of retail layoffs is increasing at an alarming rate, faster than it was in 2016. During September and October last year, nearly 13,000 retail employees lost their jobs, which is a 92% increase compared to the same period in 2021. Number 7. Hiring freezes. Christmas is the season of giving, which also means it's the season for buying. With that in mind, retailers usually hire more staff during this period to keep up with the increased demand. However, last year's holiday outlook was not so optimistic, causing many retailers to stop hiring. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, there were 154,000 fewer workers in the retail industry during the last holiday season compared to the one that came before it. 2021 didn't have the supply chain and consumer recession issues that 2022 had, which is most likely why retailers were forced to freeze hiring during the holidays. Number 6. Retail is suffering more than other industries. While the economic downturn affects all sectors, it appears that the retail industry is getting the worst of it. According to an estimate by The Atlantic, the decline in the retail sector is happening much quicker than in other industries. Retail stores have been losing 18 times more workers than the coal mining industry for 21 years. Also notable in The Atlantic's report is that the jobs lost from 10 major department stores, including Macy's and JCPenney, totaled 100,000 positions. This is more than the number of people employed in the U.S. precious metal industry. Number 5. Retailers going bankrupt. According to a report by BDO USA, 18 major retailers sought Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in the first quarter of 2022. And this isn't even the most startling part. The same report notes that out of these retailers, 7 of them had already filed for bankruptcy protection twice since 2020. This only proves that the retail apocalypse has been building up for a while, and by now is reaching peak levels. Number 4. Home furnishing stores suffer the worst. The home furnishings category is perhaps the worst hit market of the worst hit industry during this period of economic decline. When August rolled around last year, 29 businesses had already filed for bankruptcy protection, with 5 of them being businesses rooted in home furnishings. Accounting firm Smith Leonard reported that the home furnishings market saw a 26% decline in sales in the second quarter of last year compared to the same period in 2021. This is due to the rising costs of daily necessities, leaving Americans with less disposable income to invest in new furniture, putting many home furnishings businesses in a precarious position. Number 3. Huge numbers of home furnishing brands shut down. Here's another stat that proves the home furnishings category is the worst performing market in the retail industry. Since November 2019, retailers have closed close to 6,000 physical stores due to bankruptcy, and 1,433 of those are home furnishings stores. Number 2. The non-bankrupt retailers that closed. The numbers mentioned only counted bankrupt retailers, but even those who were not bankrupt have not been spared from the retail apocalypse. Even non-bankrupt retailers have shut down 4,228 stores over the same period, with Bed Bath & Beyond closing 200 of them.
Downturn caused by the coronavirus pandemic is forcing Bed Bath & Beyond to permanently close 200 stores.
Thus, the combined total of stores closed by both bankrupt and non-bankrupt retailers in the past 3 years has reached around 10,200. Number 1. Sales in retail are dangerously declining. No matter what the retail industry does to try and remedy the damages caused by the coming economic collapse, they don't seem to work. In November, despite Black Friday sales and discounts, retailers experienced a contraction in sales for the first time since the financial crisis. All this indicates is that Americans are making less room in their budgets due to the financial challenges ahead. This, combined with the mass retail layoffs and businesses having to deal with difficult credit conditions, spell catastrophic business performances, decreased interest in investing in retail, and more store closures and bankruptcy filings soon. This retail situation America is experiencing right now is highly intricate, with businesses facing challenges from all sides. A significant wave of store closures is rapidly approaching, and when it hits, it will have a widespread impact in the U.S. How prepared is the industry this 2023 to absorb the upcoming blows of the worsening retail crisis? We'll have to wait and see. And those are 15 facts about the U.S. retail apocalypse that might surprise you. Anything that we missed? What's the most mind-blowing fact for you? Share with us your thoughts in the comments section. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.